and welcome to Light for Life. If you are returning to our channel, thank you. We value and appreciate you. Our aim is to shine a bright light on your inner splendor and assist to connect you to your magnificence via what we intend to be enlightened sharing, potentially educational and hopefully entertaining information, as well as encouragement for new perspectives. If you are new here, you are most welcome. We do hope that you will find our content highly beneficial and enjoyable. I am Liz. I'm a Science of Mind practitioner and a teacher of various healing modalities applicable to all aspects of the self and this life.
And I am Lori. I am a holistic wellness researcher and educator. Welcome to Connections with Liz and Lori. We use this space to offer our perspective regarding multiple different topics that we certainly hope you find inspiring.
Today, we're going to be dealing with the topic of false beliefs. Now, before I go any further, I need to explain what a belief in itself is, because a lot of people, when they hear the word belief, are going to automatically think of something religious and something that is linked to their faith. And beliefs are so much more than that. Beliefs can be religious and they can be faith-based, but they are also just thoughts that we've repetitively thought. And those thoughts, repetitively thought, have become a belief. And a lot of them are false because of that. A false belief is false because, first of all, it's always negatively based. That's what makes it false. Because you see, anything negative is never true. Truth is one and synonymous with light, life, and love. So if any belief you hold is not in line with either the light, otherwise known as positivity, or love, otherwise known as beauty and harmony, or life, which is growth, expansion, and balance, then that is a false belief and it's not true. So some examples of false beliefs that most of us hold or have held is this idea of not enoughness, that somehow we are not enough of something. There are big beliefs around personal identifications that are false, where we wrap our identity around non-existent things like our nationality, our culture, things that society and people have literally made up, things that are just psychological concepts that have no truth and eternity to them. We have false beliefs about genetics. We have false beliefs about our personality and how, quote unquote, that's just how I am, which is never true. We also have a lot of false beliefs wrapped around religions that most of the time we've inherited, didn't choose for ourselves. We were raised in them or culturally bound in them. There are so many falsehoods in varying degrees that we hold as beliefs in our minds that determine how we live our lives, what we do and don't get to do, be, have, enjoy, and the freedom that we do or don't possess in our own lives. What do you think, Lori?
I don't even know if I have anything to add. That was, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth. What I will say,
we'll repeat them then.
What I will say is that if somebody is struggling with this one, it might be really helpful to go back to our previous episode regarding early conditioning. That builds a nice platform for what we're talking about here today. And I'm going to take from that platform and kind of take what you said about society and religion and all of the things that we falsely believe about ourselves. When we're starting to look at our early conditioning and we're starting to look at what it is we believe or no longer believe based on that early conditioning, it can really open up a door wide open. This big, huge door just gets flung open to, okay, so what's true now? This doesn't really resonate with me anymore. I really was thinking I'm not worthy to receive love based on my early conditioning. I'm not worthy to receive an abundant income based on my early conditioning. And that when you start looking at all of the things that you believe, there are a lot of false beliefs that all of a sudden you just see when you didn't really see before. And I think it's important to really start to self-evaluate what beliefs do still hold true for you, if any, and what really is true for you, what really matters to you, and the beliefs that are, and like you said, from the light, that are inherently ours. Are they even beliefs anymore, or is it really just owning what is inherently ours and letting go of the falseness, if that makes sense?
Absolutely, because most false beliefs are based in three fundamental and really big ideas. Our ideas around innate worthiness is one of them. And so believing that somehow we are not worthy or undeserving is one of them. Another is fear. So many false beliefs are based in fear.
Yeah.
So what we believe we can and can't do, what we believe is permissible to us or not, what we believe will work or not, what we believe we're entitled to or not, those beliefs are based in fear.
Yeah.
But the third category is that of certainty. We have so many beliefs that we are just absolutely certain are that way. It just is. And it was never examined. And most of the time, the things we are most certain about are never true.
Mm-hmm. And I automatically think of, the physical body. Like you mentioned just a few minutes ago, people are very convinced that DNA is concrete. It is set in stone. It's established as we are developing as a fetus, and that's it. End of story. DNA is everything. And that completely dismisses the entire field of epigenetics. And, much to your work with science of mind, it really shuts the door on any possibilities of growth and change and enhancing and I'm not really finding the word that I'm looking for, but perhaps adjusting our lives, because DNA is not concrete. And in fact, it is not only influenced, but it is changeable. So if DNA is changeable, we thought that that was a concrete absolute. I often hear in the work that I do, well, it runs in my family. Everything runs in our family. That doesn't mean that we're set in concrete to follow that course. And in fact, what if some of us came here to put an end to that patterning and that programming and those generational experiences? What if we came here to not only put an end to that, but to chart an entirely new course? I mean, the possibilities are endless when we don't believe in concrete.
Exactly, exactly. And Laura, it comes down to this ability of ours, once again, to exercise our free will as a choice. What do we select and what do we not select? Because yes, a propensity, a possibility may be in the gene code, but
Yes.
whether that is activated or ignored is entirely up to us.
Yeah.
Entirely up to us. We are the switch. If something's going to be switched off, it's because we switched it off. And if something's going to get switched on, it's because we chose to switch it on. So understanding how powerful we are, even within our own physical bodies, and then by extension within our own lives, because the DNA is really just an antenna. It's a receiver. So what is going to trigger those switches to go off and other
Mhm.
switches to come on?
Mhm.
Yes, it's a fascinating field. And it's so empowering to understand that that is how far our ability to choose can go, right down into our very own selves. That's amazing.
It really does fascinate me. Anything that has to do with co-creating the life that we really do want. And I don't want to go off too far into left field, but when we think about the quantum field of possibilities, it's utterly fascinating to me that we can flip switches and disidentify with false beliefs that no longer serve, and flip on switches that do serve and that do support and that do enhance what it is that we're meant here, that we're brought here to do, that we decided that we were going to come here to do, that, you know, to enhance our gifts and our talents and our abilities outside of what we thought was true, but turns out it's false. It's a
It's a
veil.
foundation of sand. Yes, it's a foundation of sand. Our ability for self-determination is unlimited.
Mm,
And some of us gave ourselves more challenges than others in terms of the life conditions that we actually incarnated into.
mhm.
So, for example, someone in a third world country living an impoverished life with very little access to information, precious little, if any, opportunities,
Yeah.
they've automatically restricted their self-determination by all those external factors. So how much more important isn't it then to understand the ability to exercise self-determination, at least over myself, over this physical being, over the way I choose to live today, and to exercise the power that I do have in that regard. And then for those of us who don't have all those odds stacked against us, who have every opportunity in free and flourishing societies, for us to then sit down and suck our metaphorical thumbs and play the victim about how we don't have the power to actually effect self-determination in our own lives. Well, that's just a tragic waste. What a tragic waste of the potential that we all carry to not only change things for ourselves, but to change this awful injustice that we live our lives largely unaware of day by day, but that goes on all over the world for millions of people. What are we doing with our light? What are we doing with our power to make this place better for everyone? And it starts with making it better for ourselves. And then we get to extend that. What an adventure. What an adventure.
It's exciting. There's
Yes.
a term that has become very popular in the last few years. There's nothing we can do. And
Oh,
as you're talking about what a waste, I can't help but think about that term. And I've been, in the last few days, I've been trying so hard to figure out a way to say, we really need to let go of that false belief and understand that infinite possibilities are very, very real and tangible and at our fingertips. We just have to step beyond ourselves just a little bit so we can see beyond. Well, I mean, I hate to keep using the phrase, but see beyond the false beliefs and see beyond the conditioning and into, my goodness, all of this exciting possibility that is everywhere.
exactly. Exactly, Laura. That is so beautifully said. I'm so glad that you brought that up. That is so beautifully said because the truth is there is always something we can do.
Mhm.
It might not be the thing that we think we would like to do.
Good
It
point.
might not be the thing that we think would solve everything, right? But
Right.
there is always something we can do. We always have a choice, regardless of what is or isn't happening or how helpless or powerless we feel. There is always something that we can do. So that puts the onus and the responsibility on us then to actually do that then.
Yes. So it is a false belief that we are investing in when we settle for there's nothing you can do. And not everybody can take responsibility, and that is okay. Nobody's judging. It's, I'm not going to judge anybody else's life experience. We are just here to offer so much more than false beliefs and early conditioning. And in episode 3, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But for now, I think it's important to remember that much of what we have been conditioned to believe really is false. And there is that other slice of our reality, not just our perception, but our reality that I guess I could just keep calling it endless possibilities because I don't know what else to say. There's so much more than what we've been conditioned to believe. And it's beautiful when you start tapping into it.
Yeah. And let's not look at all the things that we can't do or haven't done. Let's start asking ourselves, what could I do? What can I do?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that might be a smile.
Yeah.
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 But whatever it is that you can do whatever you can do. Let's always reach for the best and the highest possible choice every moment that we feel that we can. And let's try and have as many of those moments that we feel that we can as possible.
Yes. Beautiful. Let's reach. I love that. And with that, we bid you adieu for today, and we hope to see you again very soon for this third piece of early conditioning, false beliefs, and reprogramming. We hope you join us for that one as well. Thank you for connecting with Light for Life. If you appreciate reminders, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can receive those notifications. If you would like to work with one of us, you can find our contact information in the About section of this channel.
Yes, thank you for connecting with Light for Life. Please share your insights, your questions, and your comments with us in the comment section below. We value your feedback. And we really hope that we will see you for our next episode. We upload one every Thursday. Until then, bye-bye and be joyful.
Until we connect again, we send you love and light.